Loud Hosanna, a hymn we will be singing this Sunday morning as a part of our Palm Sunday worship online. The first stanza of the text reads, "Hosanna, loud Hosanna, the little children sang. Through pillared court and temple, the lovely anthem rang. To Jesus, who had blessed them, close folded to his breast, the children sang their praises, the simplest and the best." Please listen as I read an account from St. Matthew's Gospel about Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. This is from the 21st chapter. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, while others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road also. The crowds that went ahead of him and those that followed shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city was stirred and asked, "Who is this?" The crowds answered, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee." I'd like to offer you some comments and an insight as to what may have inspired the writing of this hymn. These comments were written by Denise Markinson, who is Director of Worship and Music at Southwood Lutheran Church in Lincoln, Nebraska, and she is also an ELCA deacon. Denise writes the following: "Can you picture the excitement of this scene? Jesus entered Jerusalem on a donkey with crowds of people shouting, 'Hosanna!' Matthew, later in his account of the Palm Sunday story, tells us that the children were shouting, 'Hosanna' in the temple. Jeanette Threlfall, born in 1821, envisioned this celebration, especially the role that the children played in her hymn, "Hosanna, Loud Hosannas." It begins with children singing and a reminder that Jesus welcomed and blessed the children throughout his ministry. Miss Threlfall had a difficult childhood. She was born in Blackburn, England. Both of her parents died at an early age. Following her parents' deaths, she was raised by her aunt and her uncle, and they lived with other relatives throughout her life. Or rather, she lived with other relatives throughout her life. 2 serious accidents left her first lame and then severely disabled, confining her to her bed. Despite these circumstances, accounts of her life indicate that Miss Threlfall was always cheerful and loved to write poems and hymns. She wrote this prayer to God, the source of her strength. "O loving Father, give thy poor child strength. Thou knowest she has none. O loving Father, give her strength to say, thy will be done." In writing "Hosanna, Loud Hosannas," Threlfall must have loved to imagine the children running and shouting "Hosanna" and being welcomed into the arms of Jesus. The importance of children throughout Jesus' ministry was lifted up throughout Miss Threlfall's poem and helps us develop our own understanding about the importance of children in regard to our ministry today. This hymn is but one of many examples of how hymn writers express praise to God, recognizing him as their source of strength, regardless of difficult life circumstances. Jeanette Threlfall certainly faced difficult circumstances, as are we in these trying times. But thanks be to God who assures us that he is by our side to give us strength and hope. I would like to invite you to join us online this Sunday for Palm Sunday worship as we welcome Jesus in our midst. He has assured us that whenever 2 or 3 are gathered together in his name, he will be in the midst of them. And I suspect that this holds true for 1 as well as 2 or 3 if you happen to be home alone. Hosannas, loud hosannas will be our hymn of the day following the sermon. Please find it in the worship folder, which was sent to you earlier this week by email. Follow the text and sing along as you are able. This Sunday, as always, we welcome adults and children to join in worship. Together we will shout, Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord.